Hi, my name is Philip Jensen.
And I'm Catherine Mai.
Welcome to the Hawaiian Studies Presentation Show. Today's show is about the roots of ancient Hawaiian sport of surfing. No one really knows exactly where, when, or how stand-up surfing began, but we know that over the centuries the sport of he'enalu, or wave sliding, was perfected by the people of the Sandwich Islands long before the 15th century AD.
The term he'enalu was taken by ancient poets to describe surfing, and is rich with hidden meaning or kauna. He can mean to change from a solid to a liquid form, or to run as a liquid. Nalu refers to the surfing motion of a wave or the foaming of a wave. Combining these two, we get he'enalu or wave sliding.
The Hawaiians used the word hopupu when they were excited, or in modern day terms, what we would call stoked. They would use this term when they were especially excited to go out surfing.
Hawaiians would become particularly hopupu during the month of November, or Ikuva, which is named in honor of the deafening winds, storms, and waves that occurred during the month. Ikuva is also the beginning month of the Makahiki festival.
During the Makahiki festival, the Hawaiians stopped working, relaxed, and passed much of their time dancing, feasting, and participating in various sports. Surfing was always included as one of the top sports, having many competitions and exhibitions, as well as just surfing for fun.
When people were to enter into contests, they would first approach the gods with offerings and prayer. When someone felt in harmony with the gods, they sometimes were able to perform great feats of stamina and strength.
If surf wasn't good and the waves were lame, then the surfers would call upon their kahuna for a ritual to bring about better surf. The kahuna would perform a chant called the pohuihui. As the kahuna chants, the surfers take several strands of pohuihui, a hardy vine found along the beach, and beat the water with them until the desired waves formed. As they beat the water, they would chant, Ina a ohe nalu, a laila aku I kai pane e hea ai.
If there is no surf, invoke sea work in the following manner.
Kumai, kumai, kanalu, niu mai, kahiki mai.
Arise, arise, you great surfs from Kahiki.
Alo po ipu, kumai ka pohuihui.
The powerful curling waves arise with the pohuihui.
Hu kai ko'o loa.
Well up long raging surf.
So, Catherine, you're our expert on the subject of the Ali'i surfing. Would you mind telling me a little bit about that?
Sure, Philip. The Ali'i class of Hawaiians claimed the highest reputation for surfing skills. They had their own passages for surfing, as well as their own board makers, chanters, prayers, and even their own beaches, where only people of similar rank could join them in the sport.
Oh, private beaches and all. Wow, that sounds like a pretty good setup. I hear that if you even just drop in on an ali'i, on a wave, that you'll be put to death or something similar to that. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. There have been instances where an ali'i was in a wave and someone dropped in on them, and the ali'i was so furious that he immediately sentenced that person to death. Because all classes practice surfing, whether ali'i or maka'aina na, or commoners, how well you surf earns a special status and respect in ancient Hawaii. If someone was an amazing surfer, there would be a song and dances honoring them, as well as special privileges within the royal circle. The status of leaders within the ali'i class depended much on their physical strength and stamina. Because surfing serves as laborious training and is a fun sport, it helped keep the chiefs fit for their positions.
If surfing is so important, then with status and whatnot, then how do you figure out how good you are of a surfer?
Well, they had surfing competitions. When the waves were good and the stakes were high, they would compete not only for pride, but also for romance, and some even wagered their personal property with a winner-takes-all mentality.
Well, thank you, Catherine, for your vast knowledge on the subject.
You're welcome, Philip.
Surfboards were treated with respect from when it was still a tree until it was retired. There were three main types of trees that were cut to make a surfboard: the vili vili, the ulu, or breadfruit tree, and koa. There was a ritual to making a surfboard that started when the wood was still a tree. Once a tree had been selected, the carver would dig a hole within the roots around the tree and place a fish inside with a prayer as an offering to the gods in turn for the tree to make it into a board.
The shaping of a board was a challenging task that required the skills of a professional shaper. The trunk was first chipped away with an axe and then shaped into the desired size. A coral called pohakupuna and a stone called oahi were used for sanding down the rough surfaces. To stain the board, the root of the tea plant or ground kukui tree bark was applied to give the board its color.
To complete the process, a dressing of kukui nut oil was applied after the stain was dried, to set everything into place. After these processes were completed, the black, glossy board was ready to ride,